I saw the arrogance in the eyes of those settlers, 21 and 22-year-olds with guns, laughing that they had detained us. The arrogance of those young IDF soldiers that my tax dollars are funding, having no respect for the fact that they were detaining Americans, no respect that there was an American congressperson in that bus.
Has a prominent Trump rival been caught in the U.S. Israel crossfire, with a sitting Democratic congressman now saying he was detained in the West Bank by armed settlers? Is Ro Khanna seething after Israeli settlers held his bus for over an hour in the West Bank, turning what was meant to be a fact-finding visit into a tense standoff on the road? Is the IDF so-called hypocrisy now being exposed, with critics asking why armed settlers were apparently protected while a sitting U.S. lawmaker was left blocked on a dusty road? As Ro Khanna fumes that his own tax dollars may be funding the settlers who detained him, is U.S. military and financial support for Israel now facing yet another round of uncomfortable public scrutiny? Amid already strained Trump-Netanyahu tensions, a U.S. congressman has accused armed Israeli settlers of detaining his entire group in the West Bank, adding a new flashpoint to a fraught relationship. On July 9th, Congressman Ro Khanna said armed Israeli settlers blocked and detained his group in the West Bank, describing the episode as a direct confrontation that left everyone shaken. Khanna specifically pointed out that the settlers were carrying U.S.-made M4 rifles during the confrontation, a detail he used to directly link American weapons policy to the incident. An aide traveling with the congressman confirmed that the group was held for more than 1 hour before finally being allowed to leave, during what was described as a very tense standoff.
I've been to Israel before. We've met with Israeli officials. We've gone to Ramallah, met with the President Abbas. But I've never really gotten to meet Palestinians and seen the occupation from the eyes of Palestinians. And it was important to me to have an uncurated, extensive look at the human toll of occupation. I'm certainly probably the first American politician who's been detained by the IDF and Israeli settlers. I mean, we were at a village that Israeli settlers had destroyed. They had destroyed the school, they had destroyed that village, and we were just looking at it. And these hoodlums come in with machine guns, an M4, an American-made machine gun, and they detain us. They block off the road. And then they call the IDF, and the IDF is on their side, not on the side of the Americans. And what people in America are asking is, are you so bought and sold by the establishment and political donors that you cannot see human injustice? So if you're unwilling to speak up for Palestinian human rights, if you're unwilling to speak up against the genocide in Gaza, the apartheid in the West Bank, then you are morally compromised. And we cannot trust you to fight for Medicare for all, or to fight for workers over the billionaires, or to fight for justice and human rights in the United States. Being in the West Bank and in Israel is the first time that I have really been acutely aware of being brown. I feel like people have seen me first as brown, second as an American congressman, and third as an American citizen. I saw the arrogance in the eyes of those settlers, 21 and 22-year-olds with guns, laughing that they had detained us. The arrogance of those young IDF soldiers that my tax dollars are funding, having no respect for the fact that they were detaining Americans, no respect that there was an American congressperson in that bus, and laughing when our translator told them that there are Americans there and the American embassy is concerned. It is the arrogance of power, of a power that has had no accountability, total impunity, and has created a toxic culture of oppression. I'm strongly considering it, and I'm more resolved to consider it after this trip. We need a new moral direction in our party, a new moral vision that respects the dignity and human rights of people around the world.
The Israeli military said its troops responded to the scene after receiving reports of settlers blocking vehicles on the road, framing their arrival as a response rather than a failure to prevent the incident. The IDF stated that soldiers dispersed the settlers and cleared the road, allowing the congressman's vehicles to continue on their way after the lengthy delay. According to reports, the confrontation took place near Kirbut Zanuta in the southern West Bank, an area that has seen repeated settler-related tensions in recent months. Israeli police did not immediately comment on the incident, and the U.S. Embassy in Jerusalem also stayed notably silent, leaving the congressman's account largely unchallenged in the public domain. The incident comes at a sensitive moment, as reports of heightened tensions between Donald Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu over the Iran war have already put the U.S. Israel relationship under unusual strain. Differences between President Donald Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu have resurfaced over the Iran war. A senior Trump administration official told Axios that Netanyahu's promises during the conflict didn't come to pass. The official said Washington will continue verifying Netanyahu's claims instead of accepting them at face value. A senior Trump administration official said, and I quote, "Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu had made a bunch of promises about the Iran war that didn't come to pass. But what can we do? He'll come. He'll make his promises and then we'll have to check everything out." Unquote. The remarks suggest growing frustration inside the White House over Israel's handling of the Iran conflict. The report comes as questions grow over the future of U.S. Israel coordination after the war. The U.S. is reportedly pulling back one of its most valuable strategic air assets from Israel. At least 10 to 11 F-22 Raptor fighter jets have departed Ovda Air Base in southern Israel, according to open-source tracking and imagery. The stealth fighters have now arrived at RAF Fairford and other UK facilities as part of a repositioning move. These jets had been deployed at Ovda since late February to participate in US operations linked to the Iran campaign. Commercial satellite imagery earlier confirmed the presence of around 11 F-22 Raptors parked at Ovda Air Base. One of the original jets reportedly turned back early due to a technical issue during the long-range transit. US officials described the redeployment as a post-campaign force adjustment, not a permanent withdrawal from the theater. The Raptors are being repositioned to European military facilities rather than returning directly to the continental United States. In June 2026, the US also began reducing some support aircraft at Ben Gurion Airport to ease pressure on civilian traffic.